Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is LordNod at the side of E3 2014, and with us is the return of Borderlands. Yes, you heard it right here. We wanted to talk to you about what is Borderlands, but I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to get the big guys to talk to us. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi. Hey, how you doing?
Why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
I'm Tony Lawrence. I'm the studio head of 2K Australia.
I'm Mathew Armstrong. I'm the franchise director of Borderlands.
Tell us what this new game is. This is phenomenal. Borderlands back. Everyone's favorite heroes are back. What's happening in the game?
Well, this is like an origin story for Handsome Jack. You know, you see in Borderlands 2 as this maniacal psycho, but you love to hate. I mean, he's a fantastic antagonist. But we want to get more of that story because we know how that story ends, and it's not so well for Jack. But there's a story of how he became that guy, and Borderlands The Pre-Sequel tells that story. And it tells that story on the moon, and it tells it with his 4 lieutenants, Wilhelm and Athena, Nisha, and of course Claptrap. And they're playable characters, and there's really lots of fun getting there.
Well, you're the guy who's basically looking at in the entire Borderlands universe. You've got such a vibrant universe. So a lot of people think Handsome Jack was one of the best acted villains which is there. So tell us about this story and how Claptrap and everyone gets together in something called the pre-sequel, which was funny, pretty funny by itself.
Oh, there's a 5-year gap between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, and we always felt like there was a game that took place there that the player hadn't played. And there's evidence of the sort of things we talked about happening. If you look at the moon in Borderlands 2, it's cracked and covered in lava, but in the first one it was solid and complete. There's a space station floating around the moon. People don't understand, it's not floating around Pandora, it's actually going around the moon. Something happened up there that's really important. There's a few other things. Claptrap, who's a hugely popular character. When you play Borderlands 2, if you look at his perspective, the story is he wants revenge on Handsome Jack for some great thing that Handsome Jack did to him. Handsome Jack knows this steward bot on the planet and has a personal grudge. They have a relationship, and that's kind of interesting. Mad Moxie dated Handsome Jack at some point, and she had a falling out with him, and so bad that he destroyed her underdog. Roland and Lilith and all these other people, there's lots of characters in the Borderlands universe that have relationships with Handsome Jack. And we sort of wanted to delve into some of those relationships and also tell some of the story on the moon. So it's about Handsome Jack, who always views himself as a hero, being on the moon, being the hero, and finding that Pandora is such a dangerous, terrible place. You have to make decisions that are really, really harsh, you know, and you have to decide whether or not the ends justify the means, which leads him down a path of sort of corruption and changes him from a true hero at the start of the game, albeit with a rather dark sensibility, into a more twisted version of it that we meet in Borderlands 2.
Wow, that actually sounds so phenomenal. So tell us about the gameplay. How have you treated the gameplay of Borderlands, given that the franchise is so big?
Well, one of the things that was really important to us when we were developing this game is to make sure it feels like a Borderlands game, and we've done that. But what we've all done beyond that is also added some new gameplay features, specifically mechanics of low gravity. It's the moon, so you know jumping up in the air is something that you'd expect to do on the moon. You get to jump really high. And one of the other things we've added is an Oz kit. Now you can use an Oz kit as a jetpack, so you can jump really high at low gravity, hit your jetpack, and go even higher. So you get to zoom around the moon. Then you get to use your weapons because it's a Borderlands game, right? So we've added some more weapons, and those weapons are usually, well, they are laser weapons because it's the moon. Again, you know, the environment has allowed us to do some really cool stuff. And it's cold, so we've got some freeze weapons, cryo weapons, and they allow you to freeze your enemy. That you'll slow them down, they'll turn into a block of ice, and then you get to smash them to pieces.
Wow, and loot's big, right? So have you kept the loot like core, saying I want loot and more and more and a little more?
Always. There's always loot in a Borderlands game, and there's more and more loot because we have all these different items. We have the new Oz kit, which is the kit you use to actually have oxygen. But the fact is, the Oz kit gives you all kinds of interesting new benefits and bonuses because when we added the low gravity and the ability to skirt around in high air like a jetpack, it adds a whole new dimension to the combat, and we really take advantage of that. You have kits that give you the ability to do bonus damage while you're in the air, or stay in the air longer, or slam down and do not just freeze or shock or lightning somebody, but also create an oxygen bubble. So you can create oxygen wherever you want, so you can basically refuel with your own kit. If you really hate running out of oxygen, you never have to run out of oxygen. There's a solution for that.
Wow. Guys, this is the big part, and we have to say we have to go ahead and run out, but I'll ask the final 2 questions. When can we see this, and what platforms?
You can see this on PS3, Xbox 360 and PC, and you can see it in October the 14th And October 17th internationally.
Wow, it's not so far away. Guys, this is LordNod saying thank you very much, and we're out of here.